you know that the world population is now 7 billion people? The United Nations says that the world population reached 7 billion on October 31st, 2011. The U.S. Census Bureau has a lower estimate for world population and believes that the 7 billion mark was reached on March 12, 2012. To put this in perspective, according to National Geographic magazine, 7 billion people standing shoulder to shoulder would fit in the city of Los Angeles, or circle the globe 133 times. National Geographic magazine describes a so-called typical person as a right-handed 28-year-old Asian male. He earns less than $12,000 per year and owns a cell phone, but not a bank account. For the first time ever, he is more likely to live in an urban rather than a rural area. The magazine theorizes that the world's most typical person is a 28-year-old Han Chinese male, and that by the year 2030, the typical person will come from India. Currently, men outnumber women, 101 to 100, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. However, after age 50, women outnumber men. Average lifespans are increasing, according to National Geographic magazine. In 2008, the average person lived 53 years. In 2010, the average person lives 69 years. Historical growth rates of population were slow, according to the Census Bureau, at just 0.05% per year. It took 9,000 years, from about 8,000 BCE until around 1800 AD, for the world population to reach 1 billion people. The Industrial Revolution brought enormous change in population growth. World population reached 2 billion in just 130 years in 1930, according to Worldometer, and 3 billion in less than 30 years in 1959. The 4th billion took just 15 years, occurring in 1974, and the 5th billion just 13 years in 1987. In the 20th century alone, world population grew from 1.6 billion to 6 billion people. The world population doubled from 3 to 6 billion people in the 40 years prior to 1999, according to the U.S. Census Bureau and Worldometer. The Census Bureau's latest population projections suggest that population growth will continue going forward, although more slowly. It states that the world population is currently growing at a rate of 1.1% per year. That is down from a peak of 2% in the late 1960s. Since then, the population growth rate has slowed and is expected to be less than 1% by the year 2020 and less than 0.5% by the year 2050. The U.S. Census Bureau expects world population to grow by over 75 million people this year. Asia and Africa are the fastest growing regions. The world population is projected to grow from 6 billion in 1999 to 9 billion people by the year 2042, according to Worldometer and the U.S. Census. United Nations projections indicate that population will stabilize around 10 billion people after the year 2200. I'm Donna Phelan, and this has been a moment of perspective.